Hello everyone, welcome to ARH Design Academy. I hope you are all doing well. So today we are going to do two things. First, we are going to do the reviews of the drawing set DS1 that I had given you on 3rd of June, that is in yesterday's video. I know I had asked you to submit the drawings till 5th of June, but I had already received few drawings, so I said why not. So that's what we are going to do today, the drawing reviews of the few drawings that I have received, and we are also going to do the review of discussion of yesterday's test. So let's get started. All right, so this drawing is by Deepika, who is from Andhra Pradesh. So this drawing is pretty good. I really like this drawing. It has a fairly good presentation. The elements are used properly. It's quite a bright popping composition. I think it's a good looking, aesthetically pleasing composition. Only thing I real think is that there is a lot of elements of design are used. I mean, there is a number of circles, triangles, square, rectangles are used. So number in quantity is a overwhelming part of this composition. Also, there is not a sense of unity in this composition, if you can understand what I'm saying. So if you see from the principle of design point of view, it has a lot of variety in terms of size, because you have circles of different sizes, and you have variety in terms of shapes as well, but you don't have that unity that you are looking for in a composition. So I think out of 50 this would easily go around 23, 24. And yeah, good drawing. Also, I would like to see the background getting colored as well, but okay, it's a good enough drawing. Then we have this drawing by Shubhangi Sharma. Now this is again a very neat and clean drawing. I again would also suggest ki try to do the background of the outline of these things, but again it's a matter of personal choice. Composition is good, no problem with the composition. It's a fairly balanced composition. I think if the elements would have been more distributed so that they take up the whole space properly, that would have been really nice. But whatever is there, it's no problem. It's a fairly good composition according to me. Only thing is, again, background coloring is a very important deal according to me. So background color करके देखो, me send the drawing to me again, Shubhangi. Maybe I will have a different view about this one. So out of 50, I think this would go around 24, 25. My marking scheme is a little tough on the. I don't give away marks very easily. Okay, so this drawing is by Gurkamal Singh from Punjab. So again, we can see the boundary now, but the boundary has to be done properly. Secondly, the first thing that I notice about this composition, that it's a very shabby composition. The color scheme and the way the colors are applied, it's a very shabby color scheme. So that is where that is something that you can improve, Gurkamal. And okay, so let me explain something to you with help of these three drawings. Okay, so you had this first composition where everything is scattered but in a very uniform way. There is no single area where all the elements are concentrated, and that's why there is a dominance in that particular area, but the number of elements is way too high. Then we come to this composition. So number of elements are reduced, the size of the elements have increased drastically relative to this composition, and then they are pretty much concentrated. They are not as scattered as well. So this is a good level where we should stop. But what is happening here is the elements are so tightly packed. They are so tightly packed that it becomes very difficult to discern where one element starts and another element ends. In a simple way, see, composition, the way I judge a composition, one of the factors the way I judge a composition is how simple for me it is to identify how many elements of design are there and what is exactly happening in this. So this is a good composition. I can see there are a lot of triangles that is, I cannot get it in one way or one view ki how many triangles are there, but I can work with this. In this one, I think it's very easy for me to understand what's happening, how many triangles, how many circles are there. In this one, it's very difficult. Even if I try, I can't really figure out how many triangles are there. So one of the way that I judge a composition is how easy it is for me to understand that what's happening in that composition. The neatness and cleanness is a very important factor for me. Secondly, see, I think one of the way I understand composition, not judge composition. See, a composition is a mixture of positive space and negative space. So this is happening if you just consider the line work over here, only the line work. So the background and foreground are pretty mixed up. You cannot really figure out the background and foreground if only line work is considered. Because of the coloring, it can be easily identified that what is the foreground, what is the background, but only line work is to be considered. This is a very good composition. In this one, what's happening is you have a pretty clear background, but the background is also kind of trapped in here. So it is again a fairly good example of composition. But in here you have the positive space very tightly packed, right? And then you have the background exactly isolated from each other. So again, degree of aesthetic beauty has decreased in this. So out of 50, this would go around 19 to 21, somewhere in that range for me. uh, Tarang Sharma from UP. So good work, no problem. Only thing is no same colors should be adjacent to each other. So that's why I selected this work, because no same two colors should be no same color should be adjacent to each other. Saloni Gangurde from Nashik, Maharashtra. So very good drawing, very good composition, I think. Only thing is, the way you can improve in this is, first, if you did not have used the color green, because green is not a warm color, so that you will definitely lose some marks there. And secondly, I think the color scheme, the color application could have been much better. So yeah, good one, but the composition is really good. If the color scheme was not given as warm color, this would have gotten much more marks. So this would be around 25, 26. This one would be, this is a very average composition, so around 50, somewhere 22, 23. Yeah, somewhere to 22, 23. This is by Disha Chauhan in Satara, from Satara. So this is a lovely drawing. Lot of काफी अच्छे से geometry use किया है. Very good composition. I really like this one. Although it is not in size 140 by 210, and it has a lot of incomplete elements like semicircular and all, but very good. I really like this composition because of the geometry. So out of 50, this would go around 26, 27. So I think these are the 2D composition. See, I want to talk about a cumulative thing about all the 2D composition that I have seen today. So see, color theory is, or colors that you apply, उसमें 2 या 3 लेवल तक हो जाता है. The first one is what colors you are using. So let's say you want to go with warm colors, right? So in warm color, if you use red, brown, and let's say maroon, so it becomes a very dark composition. If you are going towards, let's say, uh, yellow, red, and orange, so it's a very bright composition. If you are going towards pink, light red, light yellow, so that becomes a very light composition. So warm color, when we say warm color, it is not only about uh, which colors you are using. उसमें भी काफी सारे कलर्स होते हैं. जैसे ब्राउन इज अ बिकॉज इट इज अ शेड ऑफ रेड, इट्स अ वार्म कलर. Pink, because it's or light red, I would say, it's also a warm color. But the see, there is a element of design called value. So value means amount of lightness or darkness. So if you see this, the value of this, the overall darkness of this, and the overall darkness of, let's say, this, are different. So try to have that balance in your values. The composition should not be way too dark, as in the case with this, and it should not be not very light, not very dark. It should have that balance of lightness and darkness in the composition. Secondly, what work, the second factor is how do you apply the colors. I mean, the way the colors have been executed. So this is one way. You see this kind of texture over here, so that loses, for me at least, some marks will be reduced there. And you see somewhere something like this. So this is a very shabby work. So I think इसमें और काम हो सकता है. Okay, चलो ठीक है. Let's move ahead. So this is a 3D composition using 7 cylinders. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. अच्छा. Don't increase or decrease the number of elements unless if it is specifically mentioned. Particularly JEE mein, if you are given 7 cylinders, you are going to use only 7 cylinders. You can break them maybe, but no more cylinders. Other than that, it's a very good composition. काफी अच्छा composition है. Out of 50, this goes around 26, 27 आराम से. This is by Disha Chauhan from Maharashtra. Very good composition, very nice. Light, nice shadows and all are done. Good work. This is from Saloni Gangurde from Nashik. So this is also good work. Good isometric is used. Very good work. Very good work. Isometric is something that you should go for. And this is by Gurkamal. So इसमें I think this I think ये तो होना ही चाहिए था नीचे, because those cylinders 3D है. Plus when you are doing shadow, you have to take into consideration where your light is coming. And so if I look at these three things, the light is coming from this side. If I look at these three things, the light seems to be coming from this side. And if I look at the shadows, the light seems to be coming from the back of the cylinder. So एक पूरे कंपोजिशन में एक ही डायरेक्शन से लाइट होगा तो ज़्यादा इजी रहेगा समझने के लिए और तुम्हारे लिए भी. सो इस पे थोड़ा काम किया जा सकता है. Then we have memory drawing. So this is a brilliant drawing. So very good drawing. The line quality, the scale, the perspective, everything is just so perfect. It's a very beautiful drawing. Very lovely drawing. Very good, very good, very good. See कितना छोटा. Human figures के बारे में भी I think एक बार हम बात करेंगे. But very good drawing. Very good drawing. Like lovely drawing. Lovely, beautiful. This one is from Prachi from Sangli. So this one is a good drawing also. 2-point perspective है. Good drawing, good work, no problem. Fairly good work, fairly good work. Okay, so these are the drawings that I had received till today. तो overall काफ़ी अच्छा काम है मेरे हिसाब से. Sometimes I choose work जिसमें कुछ गलतियां हैं, कुछ कमियां हैं, so that I can point them out. So don't take it personally कि सर मेरा drawing उठा के ही उसको criticize करते रहते हैं. It is for the greater good for everyone. That कुछ अच्छा है तो भी बताना मेरा काम है, कुछ बुरा है तो भी बताना मेरा काम है. यही इसी से तो हम सीखेंगे. So these were the drawing parts. Now let's get into the discussion of the test. Before that, if you have not sent me the drawings, if you want your drawings to get judged or viewed, please, these are the topics for today. I am going to accept till 12 noon on 5th of June, that is till tomorrow. I will not be able to review all the drawings, but I will try as many as possible from my side. So let us start the test now. Chalo, so we will start with the discussion of our mini test 1. So the first question was identify the painting or paintings made by Picasso. So the correct options are these two. This painting is called The Blue Guitarist by Picasso. And the other one, this one is called The Weeping Woman in Red Hat. So these two paintings were made by Picasso. The third painting, which is this one, is made by Le Corbusier, and although these two look pretty similar, but this is a totally different pencil. This is a totally different painting. This is in Cubism style, and this is in Purist style. This one is obviously an altogether different painting, and this comes under Expressionism as an art movement, जिसके बारे में हम बाद में बात करेंगे. किसी आगे वाले टेस्ट में इसके बारे में बात करेंगे. So you see, this was a painting in the very early phases of Picasso, and after that Picasso figured out or he invented or he discovered Cubism in around 1907. Picasso painted this very famous painting, and this was supposed to have, this was said to have included the early elements of Cubism. The Cubism name has seemed to have been derived from a comment made by critic Louis Vosselis, who on George Braque's painting, who was also another artist who came up with the idea of Cubism. So Pablo Picasso and Braque, they were two artists. They started Cubism. So the critic Louis Vosselis, who made a painting, who made a comment in 1908 that these paintings reduce everything to geometric outlines and to cubes. So the what Cubism is really, so in Cubism the basic philosophy or the basic concept is to view any object from 2 to 3 different point of views, or 2 to 3 physical views, if I might, and then putting all those 2-3 different layers in one single artwork. So what happens in Cubism is you have a very distorted image, right? You have a very distorted image of the original image. So in Cubist artwork, the objects are analyzed, broken up, and then reassembled in an abstract format instead of depicting them from a single viewpoint, so that there is a multitude of viewpoints to represent the subject in a greater context. It has been very influential in the 20th century, and it has two parts, you can say, from 1908 to 1912. You had analytical cubism, and then from there till 1914 you had synthetic cubism. You might want to read about that on your own later. I don't think it's very important right now to discuss. So Cubism gave rise to a lot of different art movements in the future, because Cubism opened the opportunities to almost infinite number of views, because in a single cube can be seen from different views, and then it can be described or painted in a different views. It gave rise to constructivism and neoplasticism in architecture and overall design as well. And it was said to have been inspired by Paul Zinnes' later work, in which he began to develop a new way to or a new style to see the world around him. So this was the very early phase of Cubism, and then Picasso and Paul take it from there. Picasso, who was inspired from African tribal masks, which are highly stylized and they are non-natural. And Picasso had a very interesting comment to make on this, that a head is a matter of eyes, nose and mouth, which can be distributed in any manner. So this was Cubism, a very influential style, I would say, in the art history in the 20th century. And offshoots of Cubism develop. It include Orphism, abstract art, and later Purism, about which Le Corbusier has also worked. In France and other countries, Futurism, Suprematism, Dadaism, Constructivism, Vorticism, the Day-Stage, which is the Dutch word for the style, जिसके बारे में नाटा पे क्वेश्चन आया था, and Art Deco, others, these are some art movements in 20th century. They were developed in response to Cubism. So sometimes what happens, whenever there is a very strong movement in art or in architecture, then after some years there is a response to that movement. Sometimes the response is similar to the original movement. In case of Cubism, so the response was Purism, or it can be totally different, such as Art Deco. Art Deco is a very geometric one. It's a offshoot of Cubism. It is not exactly opposite of Cubism. So these are the important art style that you should go for. Then the next question was identify the building, and the correct answer is Jhulta Minar. So Jhulta Minar is actually a part of a mosque in Ahmedabad by the name of Siddi Bashir. The mosque has been constructed in such a way that if you apply force on the upper arch, the minar tends to sway, and there was a question on JEE, I think 1 or 2 years back on this, and how the minarets vibrate is still a mystery and mechanism is still unknown, and it is said that it can withstand a vibration from a moving train not lying very far from the minaret. I had also read somewhere that some Englishman had tried to break it to see how the mechanism is, but unfortunately he did not succeed, and the whole point of he trying to demolish this was to try to see how the shaking minarets work. So shaking minarets is the right answer, and this is in Ahmedabad in Siddhi Bashir Mosque. Then which principle of design can be observed in this image? So I think मेरे हिसाब से इसमें rhythm, repetition और flow, it's very obvious. I don't think I have to explain much about that, but I was thinking that to do a session with you guys, particularly on YouTube, maybe a live session on elements and principles of design. Let me know if you would be interested in that. So there is rhythm, there is repetition, there is flow, there is no, I don't think it's, I think it's very obvious. Then some mathematics. So this question says the sum of circumference of a circle and the perimeter of a rectangle is 130 centimeter, the area of rectangle is 104 square centimeter, and the length of rectangle is 13 centimeter. What is the area of the circle in square centimeter? Okay, circumference of a circle, all right, plus perimeter of a rectangle. Okay, so the area is given is 104 and length is given as 13. So if area is given and length is given, you can definitely get the breadth. From length and breadth you can get the perimeter of the rectangle. Let's call the perimeter of this as x and let's call it y. So x plus y is equal to 130. You have the value of x, then you get the value of y, and then you put 2 pi r. So you get r, and then you do pi r square. I think that is the method. Yes, so the answer is 616 square centimeter. See, in mathematics, whatever geometry type question, not only knowing the formula is not important. You should know ki karna kya hai, what you have to do with the given information or given value. That is more important according to me. Formulas and all, they can be figured out later. So this is a good question. I mean basic question. Then this is, I think, very simple one, because AB is equal to AC. So this is going to be 70 degree. So this is going to be 110 degree, because you know, think that way. If this is 70 and this is 70, so this is going to be 40. Yes, yeah, 40. So this is 110, and then yeah, okay. So this is also 40, because BAD is 80, and you know, you can figure it out. So it's a very simple question. This type of question is called matching definition. So you will be given a sentence with this. So you are given a definition that is posthumous publication occurs when a book is published after the author's death. Which situation below is the best example of posthumous publication? So option number A is Richard's illness took his life before he was able to enjoy the amazing early reviews of his novel. So this clearly, you know, is an example of this. Melissa's publisher cancel her book contract after she fails to deliver the manuscript on time. So there is no mention of her death, so it's not possible. Clarence never got through, thought he would live to see the third book in his trilogy published. So it's a, you know, not a clear definition, or you know, definitive, not that he died. Elizabeth is honored with the prestigious library award for her writing career, and her daughter accepts the award on behalf of her deceased mother. See, in all three, it is not definitive that the person or the author has died. In only first one, it is definitive that the author has died. So you have to take these kind of things into consideration. Then question number 7 is present ages of Samir and Anand are in the ratio 5:4. 3 years hence, the ratio of their ages will become 11:9. Okay, so I think if you consider Samir's age to be 5x and Anand's age to be 4x, after 3 years mean 5x plus 3 and 4x plus 3 is equal to, okay, so if you put it in ratio, you get 11:9, and then you cross multiply, and then you, I think, get the answer that way. Yeah, okay, so it's all about ratio, right? Ratio ka question hai ye. It's a very simple question. I don't think much explanation is needed there. Then question number 8 is a semicircular window on top of the door is known as. So the answer to this is fan light. So fan light is a semicircular or semi-elliptical window over doors in a lunette. Now lunette is a semicircular or semi-elliptical, this part between the arch and the lintel. Okay, so you have this arch here and you have this lintel. This is at some time, this is also called as transom, and this type of window is also known as transom window with tracery and glazing. So tracery is the metal part you have here which sets the or which holds the glass pieces at place, and glazing comes from the word glaze, which is another name for glass. So glazing and glass are they can be used with a similar meaning. Which other term is not related to classical order in architecture? So the answer to this is baluster. So baluster is the vertical member or vertical part which holds the railing in a staircase or in a parapet. So that is a baluster. Series of baluster is known as balustrade. And these other terms, so this comes under classical architecture. Now it cannot be explained in a very short time, but I'm giving you a image here. You can go through it, and if you have time, read about classical architecture. It's a very interesting subject to read. There was a question on in NATA, I think in 2019 or 19 में ही शायद question था about entablature and otherwise. And this was the question that I put just for the practice part, because a lot of you had asked me to develop some kind of technique to work with the the 30-second question. So I think I will work with this. So this works best with the video, so you had to observe it for 10 seconds. The thing is, when you don't know what to observe, then you observe as much as possible. So again, as I had said in one of my videos, I think in the rant, that this is not a question of observation power, this is a question of memory retention. So maybe I will add 1 or 2 questions like this in every test, so that you can practice about it. लेकिन इसको फिर pause करके answer मत दे देना. Like you don't pause this and then you go forward and then you go back. So I think it was asked that how many red boxes are there. So I think the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so as we discussed, we are discussing the answer today, that is 4th of June, not 4th of May. So that is your test, and you will have another test tomorrow. I'm trying to put more question in that test so that I have more time to explain, and you still have time to explore or give me your drawings. So give me the drawings, I'll see if I can review them, and yeah, I think that's it. I'll see you tomorrow with the new test and some more drawing reviews. Alright, so thank you guys, and that's been my time. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Expect more.